Hey guys, let's check it out. Hey guys, it's Gunther here from Outdoorphoto. We are looking at 3 phenomenal lenses from Sigma. These beauties are all E-mount, so they are perfect fits for your A7 IV, A7 R5, your FX30s. If you're shooting a Sony, this is the option you want to be looking at. They have the new 24-70 f2.8. It's the second integer of this lens. Incredible lens, lightweight in terms of its versatility. I mean, it's got its aperture ring, everything else. You can lock it into automatic, works really well. Autofocus, lens hood is a new design with a new safety clip button on it. But most important of all, this is a lot lighter than the previous versions. And that's what I like about this stuff. We are moving towards gear that you need to run and gun with. So if you're working on gimbals or working with video equipment and you're constantly busy changing stuff and it's on gimbals and I digress. This is a beautiful weight. It's still a sturdy, it is a heavy lens, but the image quality out of this is phenomenal. The zoom on it is good. It's 24-70. I mean, if you're looking at these kinds of lenses, this is really, really good image quality. Comparing it to your main GM lenses from Sony, there's a massive price difference, but the image quality is like right on its tail. So I'm really pleased to mention this lens is available in store. And then the 70-200, my absolute go-to lens, my favorite lens. If you tell me there's one lens that I'm allowed to have for the rest of my life on a full frame camera, it will be a 70-200. If I'm not allowed to have anything else ever again, it'll be a 70-200. 70-200, 70-200, 70. I'll go on the entire day talking about 70-200s. So I love a 70-200. I love the fact that it's a sealed unit. We've seen some of the other brands going to more compressed, lightweight units, which have a telescopic movement, similar to this happening when you zoom in on something. You know, it's that, what is that even? No. This is a sealed unit. So if you're going from 70 to 200, it remains the same length. So regardless of where you're putting it, if you're putting it into a tripod or whatever, it has the Arca Swiss mount bracket built in right into the footpiece, which is phenomenal. It's going to give you a little bit more wear and tear on the footpiece itself, but rather than adding a bulky plate or something else, it's right there. You don't need it, but it is there if you want it. It's got a lock function, which I don't really understand because it's not going to go longer or shorter or whatever. But then you've also got the aperture rings, you've got these focus buttons on it, and the layout. Lens hood, nice, tiny, compact, great solution that you've got available here. My one issue that I've got with this lens, and I'll get to this beauty in a second, but my one issue that I've got with this lens, I've got like cocktail sausage fingers. It's not, I blame my dad for the big hands and my mom for the short fingers, but I digress. Holding and maneuvering with this lens was not the easiest thing. So this is my slight issue that I've got with it. If we can call it a con or whatever. The lens hood, nice and sturdy, good product. Not very big, so it is adding value towards the more compact size. But it actually encroaches over the zoom ring, which is on the front of the lens. So it kind of makes this whole thing, a little bit kind of squeezed in. I don't really know how to, there's space, if you'll get used to it and you'll be able to zoom it. But this is my bigger issue that I've got. If you put this on a camera, and you're holding the camera, you want to support the weight over here. Now all of a sudden the zoom ring is over there, and as soon as you do that, it kind of changes the whole dynamic of how it handles. We've seen this issue before on the Nikon FL version of the 70-200 millimeter. That zoom ring on the front of a 70-200 doesn't work. I don't like it. It's not convenient. It's not comfortable. You'll see, especially on Nikon's design, they moved it back when they went to the Z mount. That ring has been moved back to the center of the lens. So it just makes more sense when you're holding. hold on. Again, zoom ring in the front, different lens, different story. What I'm talking about is out in the field, practical use, when you're picking it up and you're using it. That is the only problem that I've got with this lens. Image quality is good, focusing is good, it is on point. It's light for a 70-200. It's not as light as the Sony 70-200 GM2. That thing weighs a little bit more than a margarine bucky. I didn't know how to describe it, but again, build quality is good out of this. This is part of the sports series, so your warranty on this is phenomenal. I'm truly impressed by this lens. Hate this ring, but impressed by the lens and the image quality it delivers. But let's move these aside, and I want to get onto this one. Guys, for a very long time in the shop, if you came in and you were asking for a 50mm f1.4 or just a 50mm in general, our recommendation in the store was Sigma. Sigma's Art Series lenses is part of their new global range lenses. They used to be cheap, they used to be entry level, or not necessarily entry level, but it wasn't always the best image quality. Now, with the global range lenses, basically everything in the white boxes, you've got contemporary series, you've got sports series, and you've got these, which are art series. But the art series primes were phenomenal. They were in some situations even better than the original brands, and in different situations, they would actually be very competitive to the original branded lenses. But on this 50mm f1.2, so shallow depth of field, creamy background, beautiful lens, image quality is sharp, and the focus is phenomenal on this. Used it on a A7R5, and I am truly impressed with the image quality out of this. It is not as heavy. So with the previous lenses on the DSLR mounts, they were much heavier than the old or the original branded lenses to Canon and Nikon. With these, this is actually very easy to handle. You can quite easily stick it onto a gimbal without having any issues on it. Focusing quality is, I mean, I can go on and on about this. If you are shooting Sony and you're looking for primes, like top end primes, consider this lens. It is phenomenal. I was truly impressed. I'm looking forward to using it some more. Check out the descriptions. We'll try and post some links with images from this lens. Get into contact with the guys at Outdoorphoto. I look forward to seeing you guys in the store.